All right, red light is on. I haven't done a live in a minute. I'm glad it all popped up and worked here. But what is happening, Fish and friends? Welcome to another live. We got the three amigos here tonight. We got old Dizzle back in Iowa. I'm surprised he's not wearing red and white, saying, "Oh, go Huskers! Oh, I love the Huskers. I come back a Husker fan now." No, oh,
Good Lord.
okay. And anyway, we got
This
Patrick.
too many Mountain Dews today.
Patrick with, as you all saw on the deal, Patrick's been on here with us before, the brand manager at Reble Lures. So I'm excited because if you saw probably the best showing I've seen, I have to give a hat or a tip of the hat to the Burley boys because their iCast coverage was awesome. Some of the funnest, most in-depth videos of just having fun, not like we're just going to do an interview, and like you could tell they were just having fun with it. So kudos to them. Tackle Talk did a really good job too of doing interviews and that kind of thing as well. But we did get to see the Burley guys come up and talk to you. So that's what we're doing tonight. So Patrick, for anybody that might not know you, give us the quick 30-second elevator speech of you and your job there and the
You
things.
bet. Basically, I am the like Debo said, I am the brand manager for Reble Lures. I'm also the brand manager for the Banking Creek program. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. And so the kits that come out, all of that's kind of my brainchild, something that I came up with to be featuring things for the Banking Creek anglers. Stuff that's just going to be out there geared specifically for for that space. So it kind of fits well with Reble as well. So it's just that small water multi-species. Just catch anything kind of stuff. So that's a lot of what I do, and handle, day to day. But yeah, it's been exciting, been fun, with having a lot of new products come out this year. With Reble, I've had 60 new products, which 60 new SKUs, I should say, for Reble, which in a brand that hadn't had anything new for a long time is a lot. And so it's something that Reble really needed, and just brought in some things that I think some people might think is a little bit left field, that isn't something they would have expected, I guess, from Reble, with the soft plastics and going in there. Right. It's something that, people look at it and go, soft plastics from Reble, that doesn't make sense. But honestly, it does make sense because it's different for Reble, but it still fits within the identity of what Reble is. And so just trying to keep true to who Reble is, with what the brand is, and just making sure that we do hit that, multi-water, multi-species, just be able to catch, all kinds of fish at different places, different, that work across, small water, ponds to lake shores to, to lakes, to wherever you're fishing, just trying to create those products that just catch fish. And so that's been, the challenge, to make sure that we're, fitting within that, but we also have, have something new and innovative that we can bring out. So
I like it.
Kind of a breakdown, a little bit more than just me, but that's just kind of a big breakdown of what I've got going on. So
that's perfect. Dizzle, question for you. What was the first Reble or head and lure you remember throwing? That's going to be the question of the day. Stealing from the Burley guys. Do you remember?
I don't, honestly. I know I'm not good with any type of names whatsoever. I like the purple one, purple and black one, the Alabama crawl one. Yeah.
I know. Am I guessing that you're probably not an online shopper then? You're more than likely in the stores.
I've said it a million times.
Grumpy if I can't hold it first.
I don't know the name of it, but I know what it looks like.
Yeah, I wanna get my hands on it. I want to touch it. I want to shake it around a little bit and see how it sounds. Kind of guy.
Yeah, and this is for chat too. Open it up. Mike M already weighing in. Mine was that crawfish crankbait, that or a pop R. Ooh, that was one that I thought might tip the scales as one of the big ones. Pop R. Mine, funny enough, that was probably my earliest, like, best fish catcher was the old school Pop R. So everybody else weigh in here. Let us know what your old, if you remember. But for me, and I've told this story before, the Zara Spook Puppy, which is the tiny one, super hard to walk because it's small. You really got to make sure you're going on slack line. And that was the first one that I learned to walk. So everything after that was like a breeze. I'm like, oh, geez, these big baits are super easy. But throwing that thing, caught so many of those. It was on like the bullfrog color, had like a yellow belly with like greenish, like a green pumpkin, and like little spots on it. Just tore it up. And then, yeah, of course, the silver blackback or the baby bass pop R, man, was such a hard one to beat. I see, where was it? Just past us here, but I did see, Tiny Torpedo, another good one. Super Spook Junior, yep, one of my favorites. Rebel Humpback, Old Crank. Let's see,
some
we
classics
got
for sure.
Yeah, more pop R. Yeah, and actually, as of new, people talking about, so the old P70, as of now, one of the best baits of the year has been the Rebel P71 at Popper. I just did a video on that. And poppers in general, like I've kind of put poppers on the back burner, and this year I've really been throwing them. Was throwing a new small one from Strike King, throwing the P71. Just trying to mix it up, and I feel like they get forgotten about. They're not as cool. So.
Looked like you were out here recently catching a lot of fish on the Pop R. I saw a video that looked like they were going after it pretty hard and hot and heavy.
Yeah, it was. There was like a little stream coming in there. I should have just camped there the whole night because I went the rest of the lake and caught basically nothing, and then came back to it. And it was just feeding frenzy. They had a whole bunch of poor little bait fish just corralled in there, and it was like a dozen fish in the last 30 minutes of light. Just crazy. So
just deboing them all up, bullying them around,
just flexing on them, throwing them back in there. Say, tell me where your mama is. I'm gonna catch her. It wasn't that bad, but okay. So anyway, we're here to talk about new lures. So we're gonna hand it over to Patrick. I did get one started real quick. Daniel, Mr. Daniel Pedraza, thank you so much for becoming a member, and all the other members out there. Appreciate the heck out of you all. Everybody that still continues to watch, support me on a monthly basis. It means a ton to me. We'll have a giveaway tonight. I've already got a couple here lined up. I do need to get you out, but you are still here. Oh, you can't see my sticker there, but we'll give a giveaway. So it'll be a fun time. So otherwise, I'm going to hand it over to Patrick here.
Sorry, I'm over here leaning back, grabbing stuff off the wall.
That's all right.
You got to get
my tackle junkie.
My
you got
tackle
right
shop
there
back
behind
here.
you.
So I got my tackle shop back here behind me where I keep all of my stuff. So so basically, going through some of the new stuff, new products, new Rebel Live Flex is kind of one of the big ones. Obviously, we talked about the soft plastics. There's a few things about those that really stands out for Rebel, for these soft plastics, for Rebel in general. All of the products, all of the ones that we made are kind of right in this 2-inch space. So we wanted to try to keep things in this, this mid-level, mid-size space that kind of gets largely forgotten. So this is an area that you're either a lot of times going to be finding products that are going to be either in the crappie space, or you're going to find products that are going to be in the largemouth bass space that's, that are made for like, deep lake, and, you've got your, 6-inch worms and 5-inch, dingers, which it kind of just ignores this small in between, space that are the multi-species, the smallmouth, a lot of your, fish that you can just catch anything on both ends of the spectrum. And so that's kind of where we were wanting to fall with these products, to make sure that these were going to be things that just caught fish. You go out, you catch fish with them. You can catch anything from,
You want to hold that up again while you're talking?
What's that?
Have you up? Would you hold that up again, please?
Yeah,
while you're talking?
Absolutely.
There we go.
But yeah, so basically you want to make sure that you could catch just about anything and everything on these. So anything from a pumpkin seed, little bluegills, and that in a stream, all the way up to 5, 6, 7 pound largemouth at the lake. So these are great for any kind of natural, very, very natural kind of shapes, natural colors. Everything that we've done here is going to be a very, very natural look and feel to it. And so what we try to make sure we did is we kept within that natural color, natural shapes, so that it was like for heavily pressured fish or clear water fish, or when you're looking at some of these, some of the spots that fish is, fishing is a little bit tougher whenever the fish are just not wanting to bite as much. It's just that little finesse size for the larger bodies of water, or places that you really need a more finesse presentation, all the way down to you can just go out and catch fish in your local creek down the road and be able to just catch something and just have fun. Just go out and enjoy. Like you were talking about for the first things, what was the first thing you ever fished, ever caught on? What was the first thing you ever caught a fish on? my hope is that this is what people down the road are going to be able to say. First thing I ever caught a fish on was going to be the Reble Live Flex, because that's kind of what we built these for, was just to be able to make this be something that just truly goes out and you can go out and catch fish with.
And the fun factor, that's something I've had to definitely remind myself this year of. And I try to say it at the end of my videos, because last year I was in kind of a dark spot. You know, I wasn't having fun. YouTube was a job. It wasn't fun. I mean, that was it, period. So getting back into it and having fun is like, you know, throwing different things in, you know, trying some ultralight stuff, fishing from the kite, you know, just mixing it up. All this stuff is like, fishing is fun again. I go out and I look forward to it. Last year I was at a place where I had no videos saved up. It was, maybe I'll go, maybe not. I don't even know what I'm doing. Now it's like, I think I have like 8 videos saved up, you know, fishing and stuff. So it's got to be fun. Has to be fun.
It's supposed to be fun, and that's the whole reason why we do it, right? I mean, that's what it is, and we have fun being able to make some of these things and create these things, because that's what I'm thinking about whenever we're going in and developing and designing these things. Is, you know, how can somebody just go out and just catch fish on this thing and have fun, you know, and make them where they're open to anybody and everybody can do it. So, you know, it doesn't matter your I want these products to be something that it doesn't matter your skill level, doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter whatever it is, that you can just take these out, you can go out, you can catch fish, and just either gain the love of fishing, that passion that, you know, starts off early, and you can carry on the rest of your life, or, you know, go out and just enjoy the day with friends, family, whatever it may be, or just go enjoy yourself, just to go out and catch fish, and catch a little bit of whatever you want to catch. So, you know, that's just because they catch everything and you can catch everything with them doesn't mean that they're not highly, you know, productive though too. So they actually they simply work, even though they're easy to use. That's one thing I think that gets lost sometimes whenever, you know, you kind of have to compromise sometimes. Say, oh, it's, you know, it's gonna be easy to use, but yet it doesn't, you know, they only catch certain kinds of fish. But
we're seeing so much in the industry now, and I can switch this over. We're seeing so much in the industry now, you know, with things focused on forward-facing sonar. You look at iCast, and, you know, Andrew at Tackle Talk pointed out is, dude, every other booth had a new minnow, a straight tail minnow, and I get it. Like, they're popular. The companies have to have, you know, their skew in the game. But, you know, so much marketing toward that, so much marketing toward forward-facing sonar. How about us, you know, peasants that don't have that still just fish, you know, the creek. I don't do much creek fishing, but, you know, the bank, the pond, that kind of stuff is what I like. That's kind of what Reble has been, you know, is just affordable, good, fun lures. So that's why I'm excited to have you on Talk Through.
You'd mentioned earlier about the Burley Boys, you know, with talking to, you know, to Paul and Jeff while they were at iCast, and we were kind of going through that. One of the things I said to them was it's premium for the people, and honestly, that's where the foundation I wanted to kind of build these from is that it's like a premium soft plastic, a premium product that's made at a price point and built and designed to be able to have everything you need right there to be able to fish with them. Because so what we did is, like, in that, with that same mindset, is when we went in and created, I know that you don't get this on Tackle Warehouse, you're not going to see the packaging, but what we've done with the packaging on this is that you get 4, you know, loose, you know, soft plastics. And I got a bunch of kids flying around in there because I've opened this package up. But in there, I've also got 2 pre-rigs. So if you look over here, my camera work is terrible here. Sorry.
Yeah, get with it. Come on, Patrick. This is making me
think I don't do this every day or something. But basically in the package, I got 2 that are pre-rigged. So in here, we've got a pre-rigged on a Keg Head jig. We designed and developed this jig in conjunction with the soft plastics. And so the reason we did that is because early on, I realized that we needed to have something that was going to be a versatile type of, you know, jig head that could be used both for swim bait head as well as like a little net head, or as like you know, kind of, you know, used for either like a round ball, you know, jig head to be able to use for various multiple different scenarios, different ways to fish them. And so what we came up with is going to be this Keg Head, which basically this Keg Head is a modified football style head. It's just a barrel shaped head that just works phenomenally as a swim bait head, but it works phenomenally as a little net head that stands up on the bottom, and it also works well just dragging because it wobbles off of rocks, and it just makes it move like you would get a football head, you know, to move through the, you know, on the bottom if you're dragging it. So these in combination with the soft plastics, with the properties of these soft plastics, you know, one thing that when I say premium for the people, the reason I say that is because this is going to be your real premium, durable. Let me get back at my camera again. You know, that real durable, premium, you know, stretchy stuff. So this is a 2-inch bait. I'm stretching it up to, I don't know, a foot. And so basically what this is this product is going to be that same highly durable, that really, really flexible, stretchy, type material, as well as it's got the buoyancy. So this is a buoyant, 2-inch little Ned style bait, basically. And so this is a catercrawler here, which is going to be our little, bait that's modeled off of a catappa worm. And so this guy is just an ultra finesse little Ned style bait that is great for dragging, for Ned rigging, for just mimicking all kinds of different little water, little bit bigger profile water bugs, that you're not going to see in anything else. I don't know of anything else that looks like that out there on the market, as far as giving you a little bit of definition, but yet still being a little little stick style bait.
That's what I was just going to say.
Ned.
Was it's not overdone. Like there's some companies where I've got like the stuff that's super HD and they look so good, and it's like I don't notice catching any more on something like that than just like a beaver style bait, flipping around like a D-bomb or something. So it's interesting, that the kind of that happy medium, right? Because there's craws out there that I play with that are like, oh, this one, it's got this flap, or this one, kind of doesn't do anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a nerd for that stuff, but.
Well, I'll say this: all of that, what you're talking about, is very accurate, because just getting something that has a little bit of definition, but it's not just like too much over the top. We modeled these off of the real thing. So we took this and modeled it after a catappa worm. It has basically like a little horn, horn on the end. It's got the little legs as a little caterpillar, and it's just got that same little profile as what you're going to see with that. But then same thing with the craw. Going in and making sure that these little craws are just as natural as they can be. I can't get this camera figured out. I'm sorry. I'll have it by the end of the night. But just going in and making sure that that you've got just a natural look, a natural profile, natural colors on them, so that when you're presenting it to the fish, that it just looks like the real deal, is a big part of what we were trying to do with these. But the one thing that we did that we haven't seen in other premium soft plastics is that we've added scent to all these. So these are all scented plastics as well. And so that scent, it's not like an overpowering, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to touch it kind of scent, but it's enough that it's there. It covers up your scent, that when you're handling the baits, when you're touching them, but it also just gives you in the water, so that the fish will be able to smell that. Just gives you a little bit extra edge that you're gonna have, whenever you're fishing these. And I have seen it. I've actually gone in. We fished, with a product that's going to be a crawfish that was unscented, traditional plastic, fishing it that way. Started off fishing with those, just testing it out. And we're kind of catching some stuff, not really catching much at all. Switched over to the Reble Live Flex with the the scented, the flexible movement in the water, the buoyant, and actually the Keg Heads, the way that they the Keg Head operates with these plastics is they position them perfectly in the water. Like this will set up like in a defensive style position for for a crawfish, because of the buoyancy of the plastic and that Keg Head combination. It makes it just stand perfectly. So I don't know if it's the scent that was doing it, or the combination of the movement plus that positioning in the water, but we started catching a ton more fish on another craw. It was just, the only difference was going to be using the Reble Live Flex versus the other. And so, we have seen that in some of the testing that we've done. Not to say you're going to get that every day, but obviously that's something that, it was an A/B test that we could, perform and look at it and say, yeah, there's something to this. And it's pretty impressive.
And with this, we did get a couple questions roll in, and I'm assuming this will be the same, similar to any other, I think, Elastec type product. Does the stretchy product destroy other like plastic lures or lure stuff?
They do not play well with others.
Yeah.
Yes, they do not play well with others. And so, it's going to basically be as similar to what that other premium soft plastics that you'll see on the market. It's going to be the same type of material. Obviously, ours is going to be Live Flex. We actually have branded this as a Live Flex product. It's our own proprietary, it's called TPE, which is what that type of material is. But it's
polyethylene. Is that what it is? A type of polyethylene plastic?
It's thermoplastic elastomer is actually what it actually stands for. Thermoplastic elastomer. And so what it is it's just a different type of material. It's made out of different materials. It's actually non-toxic. It's actually a little bit better, for all around, the material itself is.
That's what I've heard is with any of them, the ones that use that stuff, it's not the Elastec or your Live Flex or these other ones that are bad. It's actually the regular Plastisol that's not good. That's the one that
It's
doesn't play well when you
I'm
mix
not
them.
going to say they're bad, but these are non-toxic. You know, the plastisol is not going to be toxic for you either. But it's just that they're, you know, it's just that it's not a
More
there's
of a
no toxic
reactive.
warnings that go with them. So yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the way that the you know the material is. But yeah, so it is going to be that type of material. It's going to be a like a TPE style material, but it's our own version of that. There's a hundreds of different variations of TPE materials, and it's just our chemical makeup of what we found works really really well for our use that we've got. So but yes, it actually is that same material. So it's a premium soft plastic, pre-rigged. In the package, I didn't even mention this, and something that is important to note is that we would pre-rig these both with a 1/10 ounce and a 1/16 ounce in the same package. And so I
That's good
also have
bank
thrown in an
weights.
extra, so we got two weights. So whatever you're fishing. So if you're fishing, deeper water, you got the little bit, if you're going to a pond, it's going to be something you want to get down a little bit quicker. You can go out there and throw the 1/10, or, you're going to go to a creek or a stream and you're going to want to use the 1/16 because the water flow is not that much, or the water's flowing pretty good. So you want to throw the 1/10 on there. It's just made to be very, very versatile. These are made to be able to be used wherever you're fishing, however you're fishing, and just work. And so I did throw an extra 1/16 in there as well as a replacement. So if you do need another one, you've got another 1/16 on there, just to be able to have to replace if you need it down the
That's
road as
solid.
well. So
So you
yeah,
get three jig heads total.
yes, absolutely. So you're getting 6 soft
I like
plastics,
that.
2 of them are pre-rigged, and then you're getting 3 pieces of terminal in there. And this is $5.99. I mean, it's a $5.99 product, a premium. That's why I say premium for the people. It's a great product that's set. You already have the terminal you need for it. You already have everything set there. You literally could take this and go fish with it. And that is the way that we wanted to build these things. This is the way that we wanted to make these things come together. Because it is premium for the people. Like I said, I don't want to keep saying that over and over, but it's just something that's made to be able to take and be used. But it's a high end product at a good price. So
I like it. I like it.
yeah.
When a couple good questions. When are they coming out? Did you give a release date? Maybe I missed that.
We honestly, on these things, there are some that are on Tackle Warehouse now. So I know that we have seen, they did get a limited supply when we first did get a small amount of them to come in the very beginning. We are looking at getting really a more online full release, for LureNet and for some of our other, online retailers, we'll pick them up first, but those are going to probably be in September. We're looking at September when we're probably going to start seeing those. So really, before you're going to see them in any of your major retailers, will be early next year. So you should see in the spring. You'll start seeing, at your WalMarts, your Dick's, your Academies. Those guys will start carrying those, and then your local tackle shop should be able to get them as well. And so they'll have the availability. And my suggestion to you, if you don't have them in your local tackle shop, let them know that it's something you do want, because they will have the ability to order them and get them in if that's something that you do want. And you want to, that's sometimes that having that that voice there and actually mentioning to your the people locally, just let them know that you want it, and they'll have those guys will carry them. So, but
Do you
but
want to
yeah, I
give
mean,
a quick shout out? Is that Joseph? I'm guessing that's Joseph. I can't tell, but just became a member. Joseph, if that is you, thank you. Or if it's some other gentleman, thank you as well. Either way, love y'all for joining. And then I had one more. Oh, any weedless version? I forget who asked that. Sorry, I don't know who that was, but
no.
no. Okay.
And I'll tell
No.
you why. And there's a reason. See, there's a reason behind some of
Okay.
these things. I originally did, and so my original thought was going to be that I was going to be bringing these in with a wire guard. Having
Kudu.
your wire up there just to protect it. Keep it from brush guard kind of going up there. Tested it out. It didn't really work very well for what we were wanting to do with the soft plastics and how we were wanting to make the soft plastics come up against the Keg Head jig itself. And after fishing them and after testing them, it wasn't an issue. And so
Well,
the
they're pretty
thing that we
light.
found, what's that?
Usually, I said they're pretty light. Usually, with the lighter stuff like that, you can most of the time. I mean, obviously, it's not going to play well with wood,
Right.
and things like that. But usually, lighter stuff like that, you're way better off around the rocks and stuff, chunk rocks.
Absolutely. And the head. So the shape of the head, that modified head with that modified football style head, it really, really rolls off of things well. And every time that I'm in a creek or in a pond or somewhere that I'm fishing them and feel like I get kind of, hung up, I pop the line one time and it just pops off of the rock and it kind of gets you unhung. I mean, that's 90% of the time. You get into wood, it's wood. So you're gonna, I mean, it doesn't matter what you got. If you get into wood, it's
Yeah,
gonna
go
it's gonna
Texas rig
crop.
or something.
Yeah, right. You want to get into heavy cover, you're better off. And that's the one thing about these is the versatility. We designed these to try to be as versatile as possible. I fished these every way from drop shot. They were great for a drop shot. I've fished them as a Texas rig. Fished them under a float, under a bobber and a float, like for the cricket. It's the versatility of these is amazing. They really will work in whatever way that you fish. They work really well to go with whatever that is. But we came in with 5 shapes to begin with. This is our little swim bait style. Basically, it's just a little
wrong one. There we
it's
go.
just a little so basically it's just a little 2-inch little swim bait. It's just a really ultra finesse swim bait style. And you can see, I know that if you've been around looking at lures much at all, you see how much that tail flops over whenever you're just holding it up. This thing, you can slow roll this so slow, and that tail just keeps kicking, which they took a few modifications to make sure that would do that. There were some tweaks on that mold to make sure that we got that exactly like that, so that once it did, we were swimming into the water. We were getting that real slow movement, because I like to slow roll things, and I know there's a lot of people, depending upon what the fish are wanting, that you want to be able to just almost be scrubbing the bottom. And but still, keeping it just off the bottom enough, but just, keeping that tail moving as you're doing that. And this will do that, which is amazing. And that was part of the thing, one of the things with the live flex that really allows that to be, to happen, because the flexibility and the movement of these baits is pretty amazing. And
did I also hear that, I think you mentioned it, maybe I'm dreaming of this, but the Keg Head also nose weighted, so it, of course, we got to talk about the hover stuff, but does it sit straight? Did I hear you say that? Or
yes,
somebody was talking about that at iCast, I think.
Yeah. So basically, the one thing it is actually, and you can kind of see. I'll kind of show you here. This is probably one I fished with already, but yeah, you can see I've already knocked the paint off of it, because I keep using these because they're so durable. Let me get one that doesn't have the paint knocked off, so you can actually see it. Yeah. So, but on this, you can kind of see the way that weight is it's a little bit further forward. The nose hook is right there, and so it's balanced real well. So it does sit, like if you put this under float, if you put this, with this Keg Head under a float, or if you're trying to swim it through the water, it just stays really horizontal in the water. It does a great job. You put this on on just a hook, just unweighted hook, it'll float on the surface. You can actually get these to float, on the surface and twitch them, that type of thing. But on a drop shot,
it'll be fun then. So they fully float.
Oh, they totally float. Yeah, there's.
I'm
going to have some videos that that are going to be getting released here soon, as we get into the release of the products, that are going to show being the floating on top of the surface, catching some really good fish with with one of the crickets. With this green cricket, I got a green grasshopper. This green grasshopper going through the water, and just floating on the surface and going down through there, and some fish just coming up and absolutely hammering it. So.
I'll have to see if I can find them. My tackle boxes over here, but I'm actually excited about those, because that was a lure I used to fish back in the day a ton.
Yep.
Once you start talking about a different one, I will jump in here and see if I have any more. But yeah, just nose hooking that on like a little mosquito style type hook, and floating that and just popping that around, dude. Everything.
Yep.
I mean, everything will eat that. Today, for example, we saw all kinds of bass. I don't know if they were eating dragonflies or what, but coming up and just popping and just kind of rolling after stuff. Maybe it was bait fish, I couldn't see, but that'll be another fun one.
Yeah, well, and all of these things, with depending upon the weight of the hook. So if you get even like a little 1/0 hook, or a number, an offset shank hook, and throw in some of these, you can get these, if you kind of balance the weight of that hook with the buoyancy of the plastic, you can just drift them through the current too. Like if you're in in moving water, or if you wanted to just kind of be sitting, kind of just almost hovering through the water, it'll do that. You just got to, the versatility of the soft plastic itself allows you to be able to get in and be creative with some of the ways you fish them, which is one of the great things about these. I'm still discovering new ways to be able to fish them and rig them and say, oh, wow, that works great too. One of my favorite ways is like a little Mojo rig or a little split shop style rig.
That's
it is
2 comments. Yep.
Phenomenal way to fish these products.
Mojo rig, and then of course, since I've been dabbling the BFS, just a little hook with like a little sinker. Don't wipe that crap eating smirk off your
I'm
face.
laughing. I'm laughing at Patrick's most recent comment. Kicky Flappy deal.
I've used that too. Yeah,
that's I believe what he was going after. That's
the Kicky Flappy deal. I'm with you.
And I've even got. I'm going to talk about the Mojo rig because that was all the rage there for a while, and you don't ever hear anybody talking about it. It's so good. I don't throw it. I mean, I'm the same way. I haven't thrown it for ever. I'm going to see if I can find that cricket. Let's see. So we got the new plastics. Those look fun.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see what else.
Fun ones here. I've got new colors coming out too. So yeah, we showed several of them. We have 5 different shapes in the soft plastics. So we have a cricket. We have we've got a little damselfly, which is the creek creature. We also have a crawfish, and then we have the catappa worm, which we talked about in that as well. And then the little shore shiner. So there's, just things that are just natural prey baits, prey, species that predatory fish go after. It's primarily what, we were trying to target. We're trying to get real natural things that fish are looking for. I'm grabbing a couple things. Sorry if I look distracted. I'm really paying attention. I promise. What we've got here, though, one of the things that Reble has been known for over the years is going to be, kind of our critter baits, some of our creature baits, some of our critter baits, some of the ones that are those multi-species style products that people grew up on, that they may have been the first fish first fish they ever caught was on one of these baits. And so these products haven't had any new colors in them in a few years. It's been a minute since we've seen anything new come in these in these products. But the weed crawl, the Reble weed crawls, which are iconic. It's an iconic, product that has caught fish for decades. Just caught fish for decades. Still catches fish. Still sells a lot of the same colors that we've had since they first came out. But we've brought in 4 new colors in those, and I know that Debo probably can pull them up on the screen and probably show them better than what I've got them.
But, I missed. What are we on now? Oh yeah,
wheat crawls. I'm going to show some of the wheat crawls. So basically, these Reble wheat crawls, we brought in 4 new colors of these. And these are going to be something that, and he probably can show them a little bit better than what I can here. But these colors in these, the wheat crawls, it was something that Reble really needed. We needed some new colors in those. We brought those all across 5 different, the shapes or sizes of the wheat crawl. Brought them in the deep wees, brought them in the deep teeny wees, the regular wheat crawl, the middle wheat crawl, and then the teeny wheat crawl, which is the smallest version of the regular ones before you get into the micros. But yeah, so these colors, just so people understand, these were colors that I'd reached out to a friend of mine named Frank Scalish. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Frank Scalish.
Uncle Frank.
And Uncle Frank painted these colors up for me. I said, man, give me some really, really good killer crawl patterns, killer colors on these wheat crawls that we can get out and just do something unique and new and innovative. Just look really, 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 really good. And so he provided me with these 4 killer patterns that we were able to get in and replicate and just make them look great. It's something that he painted them up and was able to get something that it looks like a crawfish still, but it also doesn't look like what we already have. It's new stuff, it's new patterns, but they're modeled off of real crawfish out there.
It's definitely been brought current to paint like the custom look, like these are cool, the HD stuff, but this like that's the whole new like custom look.
It just takes it to a different place than what a lot of the original paints were. Nothing wrong with those. Those catch fish. Don't get me wrong. We sell a lot of the patterns that we've had for many, many years. These are just a new refresh on what it already works. We know these work. These are good products. These are good baits. We just are giving a little bit of a new look, a new style, and give something new for people to look at. So Oh, what you got there?
Here was my old ones. Here was these little cricket things that I threw. I don't have many left.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This was just like a little clear cricket thing, and then these were killer. These are like the I don't even know who made these, but these grasshoppers, and that light is atrocious on it. But just nose hooking these things floating around the pond, just popping around the pond.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, caught
Oh,
so
yeah.
many fish on those. So I'm glad I've still got them. I didn't even know if I had them still.
Well, I got some new crickets. I'm gonna have to send you some.
Talking tiny stuff. Used to throw the little craws too, just with a little hook in them.
Oh yeah,
old school, man. I got all kinds of BFS ammo in here.
Well,
you want to go on a BFS date with me?
I want to see Dizzle with the BFS rod in his hand. I want to see him out there just tearing it up.
Oh, he tries to act tough. He's just a big teddy bear.
Oh, jeez. I do gotta say, I really dig the matte or the flat type of look when it comes to lures. I feel like some of the lures out there are just, they're almost too glossy. They make them look a lot more unrealistic, I think.
Yep. Which that is part I didn't mention, which I should. I'm glad you said that. But you see that right there, it says matte series on it.
Mm-hmm.
These are all a matte. These are a matte finish. So when we brought these in, these colors, it was like we need to take them to the next level of realism and just give it that just natural look to them, so that they just take it over to just give it a little bit more realistic type look in the water, so it doesn't have that real shiny look. Those to catch fish, again, like I said, those still catch fish. This is just a new take on what this can be. So, and all four colors are that way across the board. That's in the Wheat Cross series, but we went ahead and brought in the some new colors in the Crickhopper series as well. So Crickhopper is another one of those iconic baits that, again, there's a lot of people who are out there probably could say Crickhopper popper, big hopper. That's some of the first fish I ever caught. Some of those fish that you can take that bait to the pond today and go catch fish. It's just, it catches fish. It's what fish are eating. You can just go out and have fun with it. We went ahead and brought in 4 new colors on these as well. Some really cool colors. I mean, some of these are just phenomenal. These are matte series. Again, I can't get that camera to figure out. But these are matte series as well. But just taking in here and creating some new realistic kind of patterns and colors on these to get a new look on, modeled off of actual crickets and actually grasshoppers across the country. The process that we use to do these are actually a photographic print process that we use on these. And so what this is that's actually made from a photograph of an actual grasshopper is how these are actually produced. And so it's a digital imprint of what a grasshopper out there in the world, what it looks like. And so that's what all 4 of these, these new colors are going to be that style. It's just going to be all, an actual grasshopper that's out there in the world somewhere. So, just to really kind of get that, hey, this is going to be something that's going to work for you wherever you're at. You're going to be able to find the right color to be able to fish for whatever your local, fish are eating, as far as Mormon cricket to, some different style, all over the Midwest to, the South, out in the West. There's these kind of cover everywhere. So
yeah, these two, we see these two around here all the time. The brown one and that green one.
That's probably one of the most common ones. That green one. Yeah, that green one's probably one of the most common ones across North America. But pretty amazing. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Again, trying to give fish something to look at that looks like what they're already eating, or what they're used to eating, and just it's going to look like another meal that they're going to be able to come up and get. So just go out and catch fish. So that's a lot of what the goodies are as far as the new stuff from Reble. We've got a lot more colors. We got 4 colors in each one of the soft plastics and 4 new colors in each one of the Crickhoppers in the the Wheat Cross series. But that was a lot of new stuff for Reble in a brand that hadn't had new stuff in quite a while. And so let's see here, the teeny pop bars.
Yeah, I'm just going back. Somebody had a question. I don't remember what it was. Well, maybe we'll jump on it here. I know you've got a couple other cool new things to show off. Like I said, we will be doing a giveaway here. I've got my board ready, so I'm not going to forget about y'all. I know we have 175 people watching, which I love. Let's see. I do not know what that other question was, so go ahead if you've got some other cool fun stuff for us to
Well,
partake in looking
for
at here.
Reble, that was one thing. One thing that I didn't mention in Reble, and I'll mention this before I go, is that we actually have these keg heads. We're actually going to be providing or having the keg heads available to be purchased as a 3-pack as well. So, if you get in there and you go, man, those keg heads are great. That I love that keg head, but I'd love to use with my crappie, for crappie or whatever. And I don't want to have to buy the whole pack. We are offering them in the just the 3-packs as well, so that you can go in and just purchase the keg heads in 4 colors. So that's just one side note there. But some of the other stuff, with Rebel's just one brand that's got a lot of sister companies that is part of what Prico Fishing is. So we've got Booyah and Yum and Great Lakes Finesse and Head and Arbogast. I know we've talked about a bunch of those. Bandit. War Eagle, a lot of different brands that's under the same umbrella, and we all work together. There's it's kind of a one company that's kind of directed. The ship's directed by different people, but the pot gets mixed together a lot. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm working on with other brands that just kind of go back and forth, and especially with the Banking Creek stuff. With the Banking Creek, we're doing a lot of custom colors with in the different brands and the different ones for that we're putting out for each one of the releases. But one of the cool hot things, we do have some other new products that we have in other brands that are under the Prico umbrella that I was going to show off a little bit here too, a little brand called Great Lakes Finesse. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that or not, but they're a pretty hot little brand that's out there.
Yeah, there's some buzz around them right now. One question I was going to ask, the Reble Trackdown minnow, is that a new one?
Yes. Nope.
Oh.
Trackdown. We've had trackdowns for a long time. Actually, we've got 3 different variations of the trackdown minnow. We've got the TD49, TD50, and a TD47, and so those are just trackdowns. So they're kind of like it's a kind of like a countdown style, to where you throw it out there and it sinks slowly. In the water, you get to the level you want it to
Gotcha.
to swim at, and then you can just swim it back to you. But those are great. Those are another thing that catches anything, so you can go out and catch just about anything with those. I actually spent earlier this week, I was out on the White River here in Arkansas catching trout on a TD47 little trackdown minnow, which they're great for that. They're great for ponds, for creeks, a little bit of everything. You can catch a little bit of everything on those. They're good little lures for sure. So any other questions we want to kind of touch on for Reble before I kind of move on to some of this other stuff? Or
I don't think so. No. Good.
Hold on one second, Debo. I actually did have a question. As far, you kind of touched on it earlier when you said, as far as the color schemes and things like that, you guys hadn't changed them, and obviously, if it's not broke, don't fix it. There's no need to. But what is there? Is there anything specific that kind of came onto your radar as far as, oh, maybe we should look at some new colors, or just thought, hey, let's kind of offer a little bit more? Or how did that process of looking into new colors come up?
Well, it's kind of the same old story that you kind of get. Reble didn't really have a dedicated brand manager that was overseeing the brand for a long time, and so it's a brand that's just every year it just kind of keeps going, because we have successful products that just catch fish.
Mm-hmm.
And so that brand has just kind of been a brand that has just been had some of the same products, had some new things here and there throughout the years, over the last 10 or 15 years, but by and large there's been not been a lot of new things that have been brought in. But I was brought on and asked to help out with Reble, and was given the green light to say, kind of go crazy with it. Let's come up with some cool stuff. And so fresh blood, fresh ideas, fresh stuff coming in, and trying to say, what, we need to go in and be innovators again, because Reble as a brand itself started in 1962, was born out of innovation. I mean, Reble has been an innovator throughout the years. It may not, and that may not be the first thing that people think of with Reble today, but Reble was on the cutting edge, has been on the cutting edge for many, many years, was very innovative with the way that they got started with the products that they were producing, in the beginning, and just trying to get back to that and make sure that we are continuing to innovate, continuing to keep up with, the new materials that are out there, the new things that are happening in the industry that really fit our space, going in and saying, how can we be innovative within the space that we live? And just saying that, these are some of the ways that we really can do this, is to come in, bring some premium soft plastics into the mix of what we're doing, because it fits, and gives us a finesse variation of what we're already doing. And so it's like a power finesse kind of combo that we have with our weed craw series, and then the soft plastic craws, and then also the minnows with the like our TD47s, and then we got the soft plastic minnow to kind of be that both sides of the fishing. So if they're not biting this, they're going to be biting this, and so just giving that full circle of what Rebel needs to be and can be for the consumer and for fishermen to be able to go out there and catch fish no matter what the fish want, and just allowing people to have those products and get those products for people. But yeah, a lot of it was going to be saying, hey, this is some refresh that needs here. The weed craws are a very, very successful line. It's a line that people love. It's iconic. People have loved these products forever. Let's bring some new colors in here so that give a new, fresh look on some of the stuff that's out there. Same thing with the Crickhopper, that Crickhopper series. Same type of deal. Just needed a little bit of a refresh.
The real story behind it, I heard, was Patrick. They made him when he jumped on with Rebel. They're like, "Oh, new guy hazing. Hey, you have to tear down all the wallpaper." And they're like, "Hey, actually, since we're tearing down wallpaper, that reminds us. Maybe we should redo some of the lures update."
That's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. I don't know where you're getting information, but that's pretty spot on.
But Dizzle told me that. So
that's Dizzle's he's got the inside track for sure.
He just texted to me, said, "Don't tell him I knew." But sorry, Dizzle, that's what you get for being a Huskers fan.
Well, did you get season tickets while you were there, or?
No, it's a creepy cult out there. I don't get it. I don't dare say a bad word about. I can't even wear Iowa stuff when I go out in public, or I get stoned.
I understand. Well, yeah, no, but yeah, if any other questions, I don't know. I'd love to answer some questions if anybody has anything just about Rebel in general, or some of the new products, or whatever it may be. So,
let's see. So Mike had one. Mike, they are not making a Helgramite yet, I guess, in the Rebel stuff, but there is one in the Great Lakes Finesse, which Dizzle will be happy to hear. I did catch some fish on that on a drop shot. It's the first time I've actually fished a Helgramite and caught fish on it, because
a non-turtle.
Yeah, the last 2 times were snapping turtles, both times that I fished a Helgramite. So,
well, I didn't bring a Helgramite into this to begin with. It's something that I think down the road it's a logical addition. I definitely think that a Helgramite has a place, but I don't want to do the same thing that everybody else has, and so it's got to be something. There's got to be a purpose and a reason. So we're gonna get in and make sure that it's gonna be a good fit for the brand, and it's gonna be something that's gonna work well for in general. Like in the Helgramite last year, the Yum Helgramite came out. That was actually my product. I brought that product out. That was something that I actually developed. That one, and it's sort of like funny. I brought that in Yum, and then started developing these products. And it's like I can't bring a Helgramite in, because I just brought one in for Yum last year. So it went a little bit different direction, with that. But obviously, 2 different markets. Those markets are not going to be exactly the same. And so just down the road, I definitely could see a Helgramite maybe possibly being something that we look at as well. So, but I love suggestions.
Ramon has a good one. Will Rebel come out with any new crankbaits or jerk baits? Is there anything new in the hopper?
You never know. That's something that, again, like I said, new blood, having new stuff. I've got challenges, we brought a lot of new stuff in this year. So I've got to step it up for next year, because I got to keep up.
We don't know.
Pace, right?
There could be, but we're not.
There might be down the road. No, there's always, Rebel started with jerk baits and started with little minnow style baits. So that's going to be something that we're always drawn to. Definitely always something we're going to be drawn to.
Let's see. Speaking of new baits, I know there's another one you wanted to show off. Speaking of some that not necessarily Rebel, but
yeah, and so some of our sister brands, and so with having some of the other brands, that have new products. You mentioned Great Lakes Finesse a minute ago. We were kind of talking about that. The brand manager over there, Dan Miguel, he's just killing it. I mean, he's absolutely bringing in some amazing products, amazing stuff that's really targeting those, the big smallmouth on, primarily on northern, not necessarily just northern, but just big smallmouth and big water. That's generally what he's targeting. For drop shotting, for that's a really primary way that he does it. But also he's got other rigs, other ways that he's fishing these with what he calls the Cindy rig, and some just a swim bait head, and just doing different various things to target those pressured smallmouth, those big pressured smallmouth, where he's at. But one of the things that he just released, which is pretty cool, a pretty cool little bait, is going to be what's called a hover minnow. So this hover minnow is something that is way different than anything else that I've seen out there. I don't know if I can kind of show it very well or not. I can't get the camera to work. Okay,
left is right and down is up.
I
It's like
know
when you invert your video game
I should
controller.
reverse it, but basically it looks like a just like a regular minnow, just like you would think a little split tail kind of minnow on the from the top and all that. But then when you look at the bottom, it's got a concave section on it. So it's called a hover minnow for the simple fact that it actually goes down and glides through the water, kind of does that death spiral as it's kind of going through, and it just kind of does erratic kind of patterns, almost like a soft plastic little, I won't say jerk bait. It's not really the right thing to say for it, but it just has more of an erratic pattern, either on the drop or as you're kind of twitching it, swimming it through the water. It just kind of gets a little bit of a unique, movements through the water that just make it look like a dying or a injured bait fish, and just makes those fish come up and want to hammer it. So, and then also I've got one on one of the new swim bait heads. He just released this, Great Lakes Finesse just released a new swim bait head as well, which is going to be the sneaky swim bait head, which is pretty cool head. So I don't know if you've used the sneaky underspin from Great Lakes Finesse or not.
They saw that earlier in the spring. Yep.
Phenomenal. In my opinion,
little finesse underspin.
Just going to say this, and even if they weren't part of Pradco, I would say this anyway. I think it's the best underspin on the market. But this is very, very similar to the underspin. Without the underspin, it's just going to be a head that's going to have that similar shape, similar style. It's it kind of works very, very, very similar to what that sneaky underspin is. But great little swim bait head. Just some really cool stuff that Dan's coming in with, and he's coming in with some new sizes on some of his drop minnows as well. I think that if you're on the Tackle Warehouse, you can probably see some of those in some new colors that he's brought in as well. And even in the sneaky underspin, he actually brought in a couple of new sizes. And I think some new colors on it as well.
Yeah, I think they did the white and chartreuse, and there was a perch color that looked really cool.
And they got a fire. He has a fire crawl kind of color that's in that Great Lakes Finesse, I think in the drop minnow and this hover minnow as well, which is pretty cool. If you look at, I don't know if you can see the Great Lakes.
Oh yeah, we can see it.
You can see it. All right. So yeah, so if you look at bringing in some new.
Oh, maybe that's not a new one. I was thinking that was one of the new colors.
Yeah, that chartreuse should be though.
OG Gold Blade.
Yeah, that one's been around. That one's he's had. But yeah, they brought in a few new colors, and I think
the matte perch one. That's a new one.
Yeah, that one's cool. That's a cool. It's got that orange neck on it.
Maybe it's one of these with a gold blade or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I like these.
Those are pretty sharp. Those look really good. But then in the soft plastics, if you look at the either the drop minnow or in the
these I want to play with because they came out with a larger size now. Used to just be the 2.75. Now there's a 3.25, and thank goodness he brought out what I would call shiner, but it's a smelt color. This color works so well around here. Reaction Innovation calls it shiner. Tennessee shad is another one that looks like this that a lot of companies will call it. That kind of brownish top with that pearly belly works so good around here.
Yeah, that's a good color. He brought in some really good colors with this. I think that as he brought these in, he did come up some really good colors, and I think the one I have here is actually one of the new colors as well, which is going to be this. It's kind of got the greenish top, similar to what you were just looking at. Yeah, that one there.
Watermelon Pearl. Yeah, it's a good.
Maybe he's had that one. I was thinking it was the one.
I think the three new ones were Gizzard Shad, Smelt, and Watermelon Pearl. Oh, and Fire Tiger was the other one.
Yeah, the Fire Crawl there. And that one's a pretty cool little color. I like that color. It's just gives you that Fire Crawl color, which is a lot of brands have kind of brought that color in, which for me traditionally would not be a color I would think, oh, that's a color that catch fish, but it really catches fish. It does really well.
Yeah, and the cool thing about these, so I'm not thinking just like, obviously I'm not a hover, shake, and minnow guy. I do want to try it just to like see if I can blindly do it, but it, it's obviously more forward face. You see the fish hovered, almost like ice fishing out, and that's really what forward facing sonar reminds me of. Like it's big water ice fishing. But anyway, some of these 3.25 inch as like a little underspin trailer. So like on that Great Finesse, or pick your favorite underspin. On those tough days when you don't want a bunch of kick, just a little bit of flash. I think these are really underrated for like the Yum sonar minnow would be another good example. Or as like a little chatterbait trailer, like the chatterbait mini max, something like that.
Yep.
So I think this will be kind of cool in different ways, not just for the forward facing guys, but that little bit larger size.
Yeah,
Cool.
the tail doesn't mess with the movement. Yeah, with the blade and all that on the chatterbait. Absolutely, it gives you something that's there, gives you a little bit of bulk, and just kind of works. But yeah, these are really great. And I know this. I think probably about 6 months ago, if I'd said this, you would have been booing me. But they're great on a drop shot. So I know that you've come to the dark side. Gone over to the dark side of it.
Yeah, it's been wool.
Yeah,
it's been wool over people's eyes. I've actually been a drop shot master for as long as I can remember. I'm just now kind of letting it trickle into the channel.
I need to get a second. I need to get a second opinion on that from Dizzle there. I don't know if that's a true statement or not.
It's a full-on lie, Debo, and you know it.
Yeah, no, and it's not that I hate the drop shot. It's just from the bank, it's awful. From the yak or boat, it definitely is more manageable. But still, it tangles up everything, and it takes you 87 minutes in case you break off. So
if you've got a lot of like just junk, if you got wood and you got a lot of like just debris and stuff, yes, you're not gonna have fun with it. It's not gonna be a good time. But it's effective. It catches fish. It will catch fish.
Cooler Lid, dude, you are on. Summer is flying by too quickly, dude. Way too fast.
Hey, Debo, don't forget to look at the old private chats.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Anna asked, would there be anything more Rebel stuff? And I guess maybe this would reach all brands too, geared toward trout. Is that my thoughts, or is that such a niche market that it's kind of tough to trickle that in?
I'll say this: we do have some products that the trouts, the spin cast trout community has adopted very, very heavily, which is like the wheat craws. The little track down minnows, has been a really, really good one as well. And then some of our bigger minnows, and not even the track down, but even some of the floaters that work really, really well for trout. It is a smaller market, it is a little bit tougher market to build products specifically for sometimes. And so, with the soft plastics, that's not to say that's a little bit easier to do. And so I have played with the idea a little bit. I've just got to figure out a way to really make it work into the multi-species, but that be another avenue that we're trying to target with those. Because there are some crossovers there that I can do and make it work. I'll say this to you, Anna. I told you I was out on the White River trout fishing this past weekend, and I'm going to show a picture here if you can see it or not. I'm going to let you see, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but these soft plastics that we already have, that right there is a brown that I caught with the little damselfly. That is that little nymph looking soft plastic. So basically I caught it with this right here, and that's not the only one. I caught several on them. That was just the nicest little brown, but that's just a little nymph. That's called a creek creature, is what that one's going to be called. And it's just a little 2-inch little water nymph looking little buggy thing that they love. They like this color, and they also like this color a whole lot that I found. And just drifting them almost like with a river rig. I don't know if you know what a river rig is. Just almost like a modified drop shot for dragging, that, or on a like a Mojo split shot style rig. I've actually caught a lot that way as well for trout. So, but yeah, there are some
lots of drop
there.
shot talk going on. I don't know how I feel about all this. Makes me a little uneasy.
All this drop shot talk.
Yeah. See here, blind eye. Exactly. Drop shot's great, but I hate untangling once. Yeah. You catch one fish on it, and you have to basically do some Houdini stuff and get yourself out of shackles and a straitjacket, because that's what it ties you up in.
Literally what the bass feels like, Houdini trying to get out of a straitjacket underwater.
Except they're above water holding their breath.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. How about think that's all the questions we had saved up. There was lots of people are protecting the drop shot. I think we hit a sore subject there for people. I get it. Yeah, I think we're up to date.
Well, I'll tell you what. If we have any questions, more questions on the Rebel stuff, I do have a couple of other things from some of our new, from some of our other brands, which that were just released as well. I figured I would show them off while we were here, and at least give people a look. One of the cool things that we released at iCast, and it's one of the things that I think has gotten a lot of attention, for Booyah, right now, or has since it's been kind of announced, is going to be this. The flashpoint jerkbait, and this is going to be a Booyah flashpoint jerkbait. So what this is it's your kind of your standard size, jerkbait. It's going to be a sinking or a suspending jerkbait, just like you would expect from any of your jerkbait companies out there. It's going to be that style of jerkbait. But the one thing that makes this thing really, really unique is it a couple things actually. It has a tungsten casting system in it, so it actually casts really, really, really well, and you can get it out there and it comes back and it positions itself just perfectly. But it suspends perfectly well, really, really well in the water. But it positions as it's going through the water, and as you're doing it, it positions itself where the head is kind of down here like this. And the reason that's
nose down,
it kind of nose down like this. The reason that's important is because in this head here, if you see, we have a blade that's actually embedded into the head itself. And so if you're forward-facing sonar guys that are out there, that blade just shows up so much better on forward-facing sonar, which is one aspect that is really good for it. There's probably a lot more people who don't have forward-facing sonar out there that will be wanting to fish this as well, though, because what that blade also does is it just gives a really good, you can see it kind of comes across, gives a great flash through the water as something to target for these fish to be able to target and key in on as it's going. So even for your forward-facing sonar guys, it's not just made for that audience. It's made for everybody or anybody who's wanting to get out there and just have something that's going to really show off well in the water, casts well, gets out there, has three trebles on it, which is, in my mind, in a jerkbait is great. It's important. I would rather have three trebles on a jerkbait than having two. And so I think that this is just it's a great fit combination for innovation, new stuff, but also just everything that you would want in a jerkbait that's going to give you something new and different for the fish to look at. So,
and is that a 110 size?
What's that?
Is it going to be a 110 size millimeter? Do you know?
I don't have the exact. I don't know the exact size on this, but I happen to have a ruler here, and I can tell you it's probably going to be very similar to what you're going to expect from a lot of other companies that are going to be out there. It's going to keep within that same space, similar space, and so we're going to just see here. Yep, it's going to be right in that neighborhood. It's going to be a little bit longer than that, but not much. Very, 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 very close to that size. So yes, it's what you would expect in that 110 size, but just a hair bigger. Got that one. We also have, like I said, this is a different color, so I did pull this one out, and this is going to be same thing. That first one had a gold willow blade. I cannot figure this dang camera out. This is going to be some really cool colors in this. The colors in these things are phenomenal. I think that they did a great job coming up with some really, really neat colors on these that are just kind of got an oil slick body, kind of got that oil slick pattern on it, but then just it's also translucent with a little bit of chartreuse on the belly, blue back with that silver blade on there. Just a really, really good colors. I like the gold one that I originally had just a second ago. Same thing, kind of has that oil slick kind of color on it. You got your
graphic and
kind of get your little, and then you got your little, kind of a gold, sexy shad kind of goldish pattern on down there, but you got the green hatchback on the top, and then just a pearl belly. So I mean, will
there be a ghost minnow type color?
I don't know. Just like you're talking about like a ghost minnow?
So it'll be like a bluish yellow top into like kind of a pink belly, green pumpkin.
I don't know. I'll have to look and see. And because again, these are something that we're still waiting for our inventory on these. We're they're still in production, and we're getting these fiercely getting these done as quickly as we possibly can to make sure that we have these ready to go. And so these should be coming out in the fall. We should have these available coming out in the fall for to go. But I'll need to check on that. I'm not sure if we're gonna have a ghost minnow in there, but I know that Chad, who's the one who's in charge of getting all these going. He knows that market really, really well, and I guarantee you he's got the colors that need to be there. So
Yeah,
My
Malone.
guess would be probably
I
so.
think
And
you
if not,
guys, I think you guys really missed, really dropped the ball on naming. Yeah, it should have been the chunky minner, because that thing has been eaten. It's got a little belly on it.
next time we'll call you before we name something.
I do like. So I obviously don't know much about the the whole forward facing thing. I guess I would have just thought that profile, obviously like a bigger
Mhm.
profile or whatever, it's going to stand out more. So I don't really care about the flash in that regard.
Yeah.
But I think for how I fish, in some of the clear water spots here, yeah, just that little bit of flash on sunny days,
Yep. Yep.
I think will be interesting to try.
And
Will it
for
get you 100 more fish? No, but will it get you maybe a couple extra bites?
Yeah,
Sure.
so
I
to
think that could
follow up,
be,
just get the attention of fish,
yeah.
and that's honestly half the battle sometimes. And that's going to be something that if you get the attention of that fish, it's a little bit further away than they may be seeing it otherwise, and this come up investigate.
Well,
Absolutely.
well, when you think of sight, so they say fish can see 4 to 5 times what we can see. So if you drop your lure down, if you tie that jerk bait on and hold it with your rod under, is kind of how I do, like to okay, how far am I? Oh, about, then I'll measure it out. How many Debo fingers is that? Okay, so approximately 2.5 feet. But the thing with a flash, that's why like a subtle flash of like an underspin, or obviously the big
Hmm.
flash of a spinnerbait, flash has a lot more drawing power than silhouette. So
Hmm.
I think that is an interesting way. And I guess you would screw with maybe it depends on water temperature, but as it gets colder, suspending baits will tend to almost not float, but you can sort of change buoyancy. And I mean, we can get really nerdy on this, but
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to think. You could also pair that with like a VMC, one of those underspin flashy type hooks too, and
Hmm.
like really get flashy, spinny,
Yep.
interesting looking. So that's a cool kind of different take on it. So
Get your little neon sign going on down there if you get the little spin going in the
yeah,
back and
yeah, a little bit of ping, 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 ping.
get everything going. Absolutely, it's like having an underspin in a jerkbait. So. Well,
We got all
one
kinds.
other thing,
We better
I'm gonna
get
show you a toy. All right, I'm gonna show you a couple more toys, and
yeah.
I'll
Go ahead.
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna start the giveaway rolling here while we're
Yep,
going through.
that's fine. One thing that I don't know if you said, have you shown this at all yet? I didn't know. I know you
Yeah,
had fooled with it a little
not the
bit.
video of me fishing it yet, but I did show it
Gotcha.
in the unboxing. People got to see him. But yeah, I've already caught some good fish on it. So yeah, I'm excited
Yeah.
for that one.
But this little head and swimming in image is a really cool little bait. It really is. I mean, just having the properties of it, the size of it's just about perfect. It's a little bit more compact size. It's basically the same size as what the spitting image is, the head and spitting image. Some cool things about this bait that I think really stand out different than maybe what you may be expecting of another tail you know plopper kind of bait is going to be that it has a hole here in the tail that gives you a really cool bubble trail, and that you can that the that'll follow the bait, give something for the bass to kind of track down. Do get a really good bubble trail, but also this bait is able to walk, so you can actually walk the dog with this. You give it a little bit of a loop, you can actually walk the dog
Hmm.
with this little tail spinner bait. So it's different than what you think it may be for that. So if you think of the spitting image, that's what that bait does. It just kind of walks. It's the same shape, same style, everything on it. So you can, I would suggest doing a loop do a loop knot, in the nose, do something that's going to give you a little bit more slack in it. But you can definitely walk the dog on this and get yourself a couple of different actions going on. So you got that tail spinner, going, but you also are walking the dog with that same bait. So one of the cool things about this bait that you can really do, which is really neat, which is different than other things that are on the market, that I've seen out there for sure. So
Mike, it is a hardtail with a hole in it, and that was one thing I was telling Patrick was the bubble trail on that is really good. It almost reminds you of like a buzz bait mixed in with it, how it leaves the bubble, so it's got a little hole in it. I was just thinking, I haven't thrown a plopper or choppy, a lot of the other similar baits in such a long time, but it does have a very prominent bubble trail with that. The other thing that I like they've done is they put an oval split ring on it. I really appreciate the oval split ring instead of the round ones. And the other thing is, so with those, like he was talking about walking it, I haven't necessarily tried that, but now that you say that, I can see it. Because one of the other ways to work those that people don't talk about enough is using it like a rip bait. So like a devil horse or like a Rapala skitter prop, something like that. I was catching them that way as well. So if you've got fish that are, I don't want to say super aggressive because that gives off the whole thing of, well, you just cast it. But if you get like, if you want to almost just piss a fish off, you can work it like a popper right next to a log or like a brush pile and just, and it's not where like, oh, that fish will eat anything. It's like, you've done this too much. Boom, I'm eating it. And I caught one at least that way the other day. So I've not tried walking it, but that's something else to mix in with any type of prop bait that you throw, is giving it those short little poppy rips.
Absolutely. Well, I do have one other cool little bait that I think while we're waiting on the Husker, I like the Husker.
Hashtag Husker. We have 68 people entered. Let's see, how close can we get to 100? There's 175 people watching. Let's get up to a hundo, as close as we can anyway.
We need to give away something pretty cool. What do we want to give away?
I don't know. I'll get a bug box of tackle here. I'm trying to downsize on stuff here, so I don't know. It'll be a big conglomeration of stuff.
I'll tell you what. I'll throw in a box of some new lures if you want to do another one too.
Ooh, okay.
Just some of the new stuff that's coming out, and we could do a second drawing as well. So you better get your name in.
Let's you know what? Since let's try to get to the 100, and we'll just do a grand prize.
Perfect. Just make it all come together.
Actually, well, we have to do 2 because you'll probably ship directly from you, huh?
I'll ship. I'll ship direct.
Yeah, we'll do 2. Okay, so we'll do my stuff, and yes, how about that? I'll throw in a Debo custom with the one that I'm doing. Whoever wins gets to pick it, because I have fired up my my paint stuff and doing some things here. But yes, I'll throw in one of my customs. You pick it. You pick the lure, the paint job with some lures of mine, and then we'll do a second one here. And you don't need to enter multiple times. We're just going to pull the Husker drawing twice here. So, okay, go ahead. What's that one? This one I'm excited for. This one I didn't even know about. And this wasn't, I don't think, at iCast.
This one hasn't been announced yet. This one, nobody's announced this. This is like the first time that people are getting to see this thing. So what this is going to be it's going to be a Super Zara Spook. Super Zara Spook. And so basically it is the big version of the Zara Spook, silent. Just
no knockers.
Bigger.
Not that I can condone that. I mean, but this one, no knockers.
No knockers. It's basically going to be a big silent, walk the dog style bait, and it's going to be coming out in the fall. So this is going to be something that will be dropping in the fall. Has not been released yet. Has not even been shown yet or announced yet. This is just one of the colors that's going to be in that new bait. But pretty cool stuff. I actually I had to go and steal this off of the head and brand manager's desk just so I could come and show this off before I left. Last at the end of the week. So,
and that's a new color too, right?
Yep. There's going to be some new colors that are in here. Really cool. Yeah, there's some really cool patterns that he's got coming in on these. But some really good stuff. So there's some new stuff happening in some brands. I mean, obviously Heddon, brand that's been around for a long time. I mean, it's the oldest continuously running fishing brand in the country, I think, or maybe even in the world. I'm not sure. I think so. In the world, maybe, but just new stuff coming out in a brand that's been around for a long time. It's really cool to see this stuff, like the spinning image, seeing these coming out, and just really kind of getting some new blood, some new life, and some not that it needs a life, but just kind of new products coming out, and some of these heritage brands that have been around for a minute. So.
Whoop. You can tell I don't do this every week. I'm a little rusty on my buttons.
It's like me with the camera. Yeah, I'm I can't find it. What's
going on here?
It's up here somewhere.
Yeah, I don't have them here, but I've still got the old I forget, was the spitting image, and what was it? Swimming image? Was that the one with the little bill?
Yeah, there's a swimming image, a spitting image. Yes,
I've still got some of those, the old ones signed by Bill Dance. Well, it was his, printed signature on them.
Excalibur ones, the ones that were done through Excalibur.
Yep, the old Excaliburs. Dude, it's so cool to see this stuff coming back around. Like you said, breathing new life into it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
which I think is awesome.
And the thing is that those still catch fish. They catch fish, and so bringing some new life into something that's out there that's been proven for years and years and years and years, and it's had the lifespan for a long time because they're effective. But then just kind of taking new spins or new takes on what some of these products are, what we can do. It's a little bit different, change it up, because one thing that if in fishing, and I think everybody that's in here knows, is that something new works for a period of time, and then the fish kind of get zoned into it. They get used to it, and so it kind of just changes up the effectiveness. So having different looks, different feels, different sounds, different things kind of coming through the water and allowing fish to see something new is never a bad thing. So having some of these brands, bringing those things in is great. It's good stuff.
Yeah, Philip brought up a good point. Is Zara the actual way to say it? Is that the correct pronunciation?
You
I've always
know,
said Zara.
Zara Spook.
Or is it just tomato?
I'm not gonna claim one way or the other because I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's Zara Spook or Zara Spook. Zara Spook is probably what it is. I think I'm saying it wrong. So I have to go back to. I need to ask that question next week to make sure I'm
I
not
think
saying it wrong.
it's crappie, the whole
Well, yeah,
depending on
it's
where you're from.
crawfish, crayfish. It's What do you want to
Yeah, I
call them?
think Tom, good point, cool. But he wishes it was a 3-hook. It's not until you get into the big Zara Spook that you get the 3-hook, right? And
Right.
I'm glad they changed the bottom because I was honestly never a fan of that. And actually, maybe, hey, we have the guy. Maybe you know the
That's
background to this.
the hook hangers.
Yeah, I always hated those. What was the deal with it?
Because it's old. It's been around for a long time, and so that was the original style that they were. And this has the updated. So basically, what
Yeah,
we've done is we've gone in, we've updated the hook hangers, gotten rid of the hook hangers that were on there that just that were the kind of the old style ones that were there. This is a bait that's been around, or this style of bait's been around for a long time. Hedden innovated it many decades ago, and so like a lot of the other stuff, things have changed, styles have changed. That was the way that it had to be made at the time whenever they first made it, because most of these were made in wood, so they were wood baits, and so to put stuff in wood, you screwed it in. You know what I mean? It was just the way that the hangers were, and it was the way it was originally produced, and it was just kind of kept that
so
way,
they
I
just
think, for
kept
a long
rolling
time.
with it. Okay.
Right. And so this is kind of a new modern take on what this needs to be. So it's just kind of an updated version, updated look to that style bait, and just gives you what it needs to be for today. Is a lot
I
of the
like
stuff
that
that
because
we've
yeah,
done.
the only cool thing about those was, now thinking about it and looking back at now, which I didn't throw braid then, but it did not allow the hooks to go too far forward. So if you were like braid, or I guess really you didn't get caught up in the hooks because it didn't allow them to go all the way forward and get caught in it. But I don't know. I hated the idea of like having them stuck in that position. Like it just seems like they've got extra leverage, I guess, to throw it. Not that I had like a super huge issue with losing them, but because it was that way on the gosh, what's the big round face one that bloops super huge?
Arbogast?
Jitterbug.
Yeah, the
The
Arbogast,
the
jitterbugs, and
jitterbug. Yeah.
the hula
Is that
poppers. Yeah, it's the same thing.
or hula popper? Yeah, sorry. Hula
Yep.
popper, I think, had it, or
Yep.
maybe both did. I don't remember.
I think they both did, and it's kind of the way they were, and they were for a long time. That was same thing. It was, they were made out of wood. They were just it was just the
Right.
way that they were made a long time ago, and so a lot of those things just
And they
stayed
just
the
kept
same.
rolling with it. Yeah, that makes sense, especially the wood. Now that you say that. Okay. I didn't go over all the stuff. Must be present to win. If you're not here, you can't win. Hopefully you're here in the US, which we did see that y'all are shipping to Canada now. That's pretty
Absolutely,
cool.
we're doing international shipping now to Canada. So, that is something that we are happy that is in place. So, and I think a lot of Canadians are as well. So,
So let's see. Is it Corey? Is that what that is? Corey 7. Are you here?
Corey,
This'll
yes,
be
I am here. Yes,
oh,
Iowa.
Oh, did you see it? Where?
yes,
Oh,
Iowa.
Iowa. My guy. All right.
He-
Well, you will get the
He's,
DEBO box, and your
he's just gonna
customer
come
will
pick
be
it
a
up at your
choice.
house.
Oh, well, hey, well, I don't know about that.
I'll give you.
He's in
I'll
Iowa.
give you the address. Don't worry.
I had some strange people knocking on my door the other day, and I don't know what they were trying to pander, but they were looking mighty suspicious.
I
And I
wasn't
just
selling
really
your
don't
address
like
online.
people these days.
He doesn't
She
even have
says
Just
the
his
one to
knocking
go
on my
earbuds
fish.
door.
on. Does he have his earbuds in? Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah. What now?
Oh, no, oh nothing. Nothing.
Box, lures, and custom. And I'm even going to throw in, how about this, Corey, for all y'all that are going to be jealous. I've even got old regular lures that I can sand and repaint. So if you have a favorite, like, I don't know, a DT6 or something, whatever it is your choice. I just need you to send a screenshot of your YouTube so I know it's you, not Dizzle trying to imposter and get some free lures. Screenshot of your YouTube, send that to me and your address and what lures you would like, and I will hook you up, my friend. And then let's go pull another one So this will be from the new stuff that Patrick will be sending.
It'll be a
Thank you
goodie
for doing
box.
that.
Yeah,
We didn't talk
absolutely.
about
We'll
this beforehand. This is all him. So
Nope, this is gonna. What I'll do is I'm gonna throw together a goodie box of just a lot of the new products that we have. Just say, hey, we're gonna get just a lot of the new stuff and just get it out to you. Let's let whoever wins try it. Jim F.
Jim, oh, and he's right there.
Yeah, right there.
I think
That was
here.
me. Just wanted to go fishing. Oh, oh, we switched him around. Jim should have been the one to get my box. He was the one knocking on my door. He just wanted to go fishing with me. Okay, Jim F. How do you want me to get his info and then I'll just
Yes.
send that to you? Okay.
Yep.
So Jim, if you also want to email me at DEBO'SFishing@gmail.com with a screenshot of your YouTube so I know it's you and your address, I will forward that over to Patrick and he will get you lures.
Yep.
Okay,
And
so
what
we're
kind
gonna
of fishing he does too. If in the email, tell me what kind of fishing he does, and I'll make sure I hook him up with the right type of stuff for what he's doing. So
perfect. Jim, hopefully you're still here. Okay, yep, cool. All right, so we're gonna play round robin questions for just a couple minutes here since we have Patrick on. So I'm gonna pepper you with a couple questions. Number one, so we're going to, so since you are the Rebel guy, what is the number one Rebel selling product?
Ooh, the number one Rebel selling product as far as you're talking about like individual color, or you're talking about like his series in general?
Yeah, not even color. Like if you just say the Rebel Pop R
P60,
whatever. P60. Okay. Is there a color? Do you by chance know the color off the top of your head?
I do know the color. I'm the Rebel brand manager. I've got to know the color.
Baby bass.
Baby bass. Baby bass. It's and it's one of those deals that just like so many people were saying in the comments over here. It's a product that's been around. It was the innovator. It was the first one. It's the one that people look for, and it's the one that still works and people gets to go to. And so it just is simply catches fish. It's a product that catches fish, time in, year in, year out, and it just works. And so
was I not sharing? Was I not sharing when I pulled winners, or was I?
No, you were.
Oh, okay. Blind Eyes trying to pull a fast one over. Sorry, Patrick, for jumping in there. Go ahead.
Oh, all good. No, but so the P60 and baby bass is going to be, it is probably the most popular lure, as far if you're going to look at one single lure, that is as popular as anything that we sell. But there's other ones that are right there and ranking, coming up with it though. So
that's what I was going to ask.
Funny. There's go ahead, Debo.
Go for it, Dizzle.
I was going to say it's really funny. A lot of people will say, oh, baby bass is a color. No, it never works. I don't know why people always have baby bass lures. But then you go and look at people's lure selection, and everybody's got baby bass colors in their boxes.
It works.
It's a great color, great scheme. Bass are, they eat their own. Why wouldn't they? There's plenty of
that baby bass too. In the popper is more of a subtle, like young baby bass, as opposed to some of them that are like the very hard green with like the the lateral line and like not like even some of the I forget. I think actually even the Dinger might have one where it's like that green with the white, which I just don't like that color. Like to me, that's not. I don't know.
Watermelon pearl.
Yeah, watermelon pearl, like those laminates. Some of these other crazy ones, I just don't love like that mix, and I think that's what turns a lot of people off. Is like, oh, it's bass, but they eat baby bass, and it's like, why not throw it more?
I don't like I wasn't a big fan of watermelon pearl either, or in yum. Speaking of yum. Until I went out and have used it and had it as a trailer on some swim jigs and stuff, and
I've had good days with it.
Phenomenal. It catches fish. It catches
wacky rig. I remember specifically a day. Dizzle, I don't think you've ever been there because it's a boat one, but it's a little boat spot that I fish, and probably a 40 fish day on a wacky rigged yum dinger baby bass. And it's just one of those that I never think of like, and I shouldn't say I don't like it. It's just like when I'm scrolling through, it's not one I'm like, do they have baby bass in this lure or this? It's not one that I think about, one that I proactively look for. It's like green pumpkin / black and blue / a couple of like a dark black purple, are the ones that I'm like, okay, did they have this? So.
Look, I see Julie here saying black and silver, which is going to be the silver with black back. That is right up there close. That's going to be one of those up there. That P60, P50, P60, P65. Those. That's always a popular one. It does really, really well too.
Wow, man, I don't know if they still make that one anymore, but it was like the chrome blueback or like a think it had like a red gills or something on it too. I remember he always threw that one, and I would always throw the baby bass.
I don't know that I'd have to go and look and make sure that we still make that one or not. I know the black chrome with black back we do, so for sure.
Okay, and then so that was Reble. So out of everything, so let's say all sister brands under the umbrella, do you by chance know what, like, is it a Booyah spinnerbait? Do you know what the number one selling that you have under all SKUs is by chance?
I honestly don't know that offhand. It would be guessing. I would have a pretty educated guess on what some of those would be, but I can't say right offhand what it would be for sure.
Yeah, my thought were
some of the most popular ones would be the dinger. Obviously, the Yum Dinger is going to be a very very popular.
True. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Bait that is sell. I mean, think about the packs of dingers that everybody has, and then you go through them, and you need more dingers.
It's a really good one, especially with cost on those. Like, you look at the cost of a thing of soft plastics is if you're looking at numbers of items
takes some volume. Obviously $3.49. You have to sell a lot of them. To make for that to be to do it. But there's a lot of dingers that are sold. So I mean that's a popular one that we sell a lot of. We sell a lot of Pond Magic, a lot of like Booyah spinner baits.
That's what I was gonna say. Booyah spinner bait. And the Booyah frog, like a pad crasher, we're going to be my guess.
Pad crasher is a very popular one as well. So that's why I'd say that there's some really good products that we have that I couldn't tell you where we're at, as far as like what's number one. But there's going to be some of those ones you would think, I'm sure they'd be up there pretty high. So
okay, fair enough. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Bluegill, look at that. Oh no, I'm just fine with that.
Let's see. What were the other questions? I didn't write these down. I was thinking of these earlier. I was like, they don't have it. Oh, they do.
Silver blue. Okay.
Silver blue. That's one.
I wasn't going to say it, but I was pretty sure we still made it because it's the yellow eyes on it.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Pops,
and
if you're watching.
P60, right? That's the P60.
Yeah, just the regular.
Yeah. But everybody else doesn't know. It's just the Pop R. It's the P60 is what that one is.
P71, big fan.
Some of the ones, like if you look down here, so if you scroll down a little bit, I'll just kind of I'm going to show you what this, so you got the bluegill there, which is a unique one as well. But if you go on down, I don't even know if they have it. I kind of go up a little bit right there, up, or go up right there. So the far right, you got a little bluegill up, down below the cricket. Before the cricket
it's the line you keep passing.
Right there.
Oh, this one. Oh, I thought we were talking poppers still. I'm sorry.
No, sorry, but I'm just saying unique baits that Reble has. That little square bill. It's a square bill crankbait, flat sided square bill crankbait bluegill, which it's a unique little bait. That's one that's a really cool little pond type bait as well. I don't know if they have the track down minnows in here or not. I'm not sure if they carry them. Okay, so they got the track down there. And then the buzzing frog. We've Reble again. We have some very unique baits that are very.
This one especially, I think I've still got one of those in my box.
The buzzing. Oh yeah.
Ever? No, not the buzzing. I don't think I ever owned one of those, but this one, the topwater popping frog.
Yep. Those they still sell a lot of those because they catch fish. It's a great little bait. It really is.
Oh, I didn't know there was a walking version. I don't know if I've ever even seen this one.
It's the walking frog. Yeah, it's the topwater frog R.
This is kind of the color of that Zara Spook puppy, which actually we can look real quick. I don't know if that's still sold.
Oh yeah, no, it is. That one you're talking about with the bullfrog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know we still make that one. Heading.
Let's see the puppy.
The Zara puppy. There it is right there. That's it.
Hey, speaking of baby bass colors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't see it here.
Oh, I was thinking it's that first one you showed. I thought that was the one.
No. The old bullfrog one was like, I think it has, gosh, and I would pull it out. I don't know I bet it's in the other colors.
It's in the super spook. Yeah, if you look at the spook, it'll be in the spook. I would almost guarantee it's in the spook.
Oh, I don't see it made at all anymore.
I wonder if because I know we make it in that.
Maybe they just don't carry it on Tackle Warehouse.
They may not carry it there. I know LureNet we would have it.
Yeah, that was an old favorite.
Zara. That's strange.
Yeah, no.
Huh. I'm just kind of interesting that they don't have it though. That bone right there is one
that there's the hook. Yeah, there's the hook hangers, the old style.
Yep.
And I've you know what I've done is I cut the hooks off and put a split ring on, then just put my Oh, good.
Yeah, you're probably not the only
Would
one.
like those. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do that.
That's probably why some of the updates there were needed for sure. So
Dizzle, what kind of questions do you have? Any old Hedden Booyah? I love the old, nostalgia of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I have a whole lot of questions. I've been having some laughs in the comments here. God, I've still been trying to think of the first lure that I probably would have caught fish on. It's either it's a pop R or like a bandit crankbait. I was really got big into the bandits there for quite a while.
we own
And I bet
Bandit
you,
too, so that's all right.
yeah. Mhm.
Hashtag War Eagle. Yep, War Eagle's
Yeah.
under their umbrella as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that's a given, but
Forever. What? Oh gosh, what was the other question I had? It was an old lure which it's going to be one of the old. Hey, are you bringing this one back? Guy back in the 1920s. I love this one, but
The old the
whittled
hula
out of
wiggler.
wood.
You want the old Arby Gas hula wiggler back?
no. I will say that the night bite, which this I guess is probably dating me, but back when I remember still throwing the God, not hula popper. What's the one that walks? Is that the hula popper?
Oh, jitterbug.
Jitterbug. There we
Jitterbug.
go. Yeah, throwing that at night, like that black color, or I think it was also a bullfrog color.
Yep.
Talking about old lures, gosh, so much fun. My buddy's grandpa had a farm pond, and throwing that at night when we camp out there, like you couldn't see really much of anything unless like the moon was hitting it, but you would just hear.
You hear that blow up going. Oh,
Mhm.
that's so much fun too. That is so much fun to do, to be able to do that. And it's
It's
something
crap
about
on you.
the jitterbug and about that just at night or just at dusk, right when it's just getting dark, that you could just absolutely have those blow ups on that jitterbug. We brought the new colors in. There were like a bunch of 2.0 colors. I don't know if you'd seen those on the jitterbug
Yeah,
and the
yep,
hula
the
popper.
jointed. Yeah, the jointed
Which
one was cool. Yeah,
like that
definitely
bluegill
updated.
color. That's a great night bait one, which is really good.
Let's see. I'm just looking here real quick. Philip
Yeah,
went
they're
over and
saying
checked it out. Yeah,
the
said that.
bullfrog on. So I knew that we had that. I just that surprised me they didn't have it.
Because you got to go. You have to actually go to the site for the OG good old colors here.
Zara puppy.
Everybody's talking about Jitterbug, and I hate when I hear the name
Jitterbug.
because I can't get the song out of my head now.
Jitterbug. There it is. That was the color.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, old school. That was the one. That was the exact lure that I learned to walk a bait on. Hard as heck because they're small. If you don't know what you're doing.
Hey, go up to the Banking Creek up there if you don't mind for a second. At the very top, the tab. Now scroll down to the very bottom. If you scroll down, there's the custom lures. Oh, shop now right there for the customs. You click on that. If you go in there, I have there should be a Zara puppy in there still. That's a custom.
Oh yeah,
there we go. So that Zara
you guys
puppy
did
right
awesome
there.
on that one.
I actually literally designed that myself. I went through and placed each one of those little black dots where it goes, and that was a long process. So that was a labor of love to make that one look that pretty. But
you didn't just say put a modeled
no
modeled spot. Wow.
So there's your
Hardcore.
That's the BC bullfrog. That was my own variation of the bullfrog itself. So just wanted to give a little bit of love to that one too. There's still some available too, aren't there? And they're it's out of stock. So no, we're out of stock.
They're gone. And there was like a clear one. Oh no, actually, you know what it is? It's the bluegill color, and I thought it was a custom color, but it's not because people were asking me. When you go to just the Boyo, which has become one of my favorites.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, the Boyo's great. It's a great size for ponds. For small lakes and ponds, it's my favorite size for sure.
Let me see here because I had a couple people asking me, and we went out and looked, and I said, no, it's not as special here. This baby, bluegill fry. You guys did a really good job on that one too. Again, bringing it up to date with kind of that custom look. You got the little custom fins and got like the comb. Custom painters, for those of you that don't know, will use like a comb. Just a regular, like keep it in the back of my pocket to get those lines on there, which is really funny. But
It's like just it's a little mask. It's a little comb style mask that's used
Yep.
to do that. So and I think keeping those translucent colors and having that, because it is a top water, you know, you just, you know, the fish looking up on that, they actually are seeing the colors that you have all the way through. So it's just I think those type of, you know, colors are great for top water baits like that. So it's a good one.
Blind Eye said he's got some of the old wooden jitterbugs that I won't fish. Yeah, dude, don't fish
Oh
those
yeah, do
babies.
not
Hang
fish
those up.
those. Those are cool. We have a couple of those too.
All right. Well, I think in closing here, Dizzle, any other questions? First, I obviously just want to thank you, Patrick, for spending some time tonight with us to come on, show us some cool new lures. We love nerding out over new stuff, so we appreciate that.
Hey, I appreciate you letting me come on here and ramble on, you know, for you know, a little while, just to showing off some of my new fun toys.
Hey, anybody that wants to come on and say, "Hey, I've got new lures. Some of them haven't been released. Can we show them?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You need one of those little sound machines that does the breaking news alert. Yes.
Just in.
You have a
some
ticker.
sweet
You
new
need a ticker
lures.
at the bottom too, though. So
Yeah.
We can do that. I'm just not techie enough to get all that going. But yeah, you can do a rolling ticker and all that stuff on here. But yeah, also thank you for the giveaway. We appreciate that. That was not planned, so thank you for that. But otherwise, we're getting out of here. Fun live tonight. Thank you all again for continuing to support, watch. Love you guys. We'll be out, but we'll be back next weekend or the weekend. I don't know after. I play it by ear. Love y'all. Thanks for watching.
Appreciate it.